Welcome back to the New York Sports Exchange, episode number 126. We got Jake Zaretsky on to talk some trade deadline hockey. A trade has already been made as we're recording this. Elias Lindholm to the Vancouver Canucks. We're going to talk some NBA first. NFL coaching news. Dan Quinn was just named head coach of the Washington Commanders. We haven't touched base on all the coaches. We talked a little bit about Harbaugh, but not to some extent. The NBA, the New York Knicks, currently third in the Eastern Conference, a game back from second after the Bucks lost to the Trailblazers last night. Knicks played tonight against the Indiana Pacers. Could talk some trade deadline for the NBA, see who needs what. I don't know. This is going to be a very hockey dominant episode.
Yeah.
We all know how it goes with Jake and Matt.
Stan, we can talk about. We could talk about the Knicks being third in the East, or we could talk about the Cavs being a half game back from the Knicks being fourth in the East with 3 at hand. So let's maybe, and we get Garland back. Maybe we'll sprinkle in some Cavs love. They win last night, extend that winning streak.
They extend the winning streak. They took down the Detroit Pistons. Good for you. Good for you. You beat the Pistons.
We're coming.
You beat the Pistons. Yeah, that's pretty much all we got. Very little with just the two of us. Going to be a very hockey dominant episode. But let's talk some coaching. The coaching carousel in the NFL. First off, Washington Commanders, Dan Quinn. I think that is the worst case scenario.
I think, and wait, let me say this, Dan, real quick.
It's the worst case scenario for what they could have had. But go ahead, Tim.
I feel like this is like a scramble hire. I think they were offering everyone the job, and nobody wanted to take it. Because they've been a mess.
Yeah. With the whole Brian Johnson thing, him staying in Detroit, wanting to win a Super Bowl, you look at Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator of the Texans, he decides to stay, and then now you're kind of like, okay, who do you want? Mike McDonald, he goes to the Seahawks, we'll touch up on him. This is... I don't know what to think of this one. In my honest opinion, they got the defensive Ron Rivera. Like, this is really hire. Now,
this doesn't change anything. This doesn't change anything.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, but to be fair, they do have the most cap room in free agency, so they can make some moves here and get some signings. So it could be enticing that way. But I think this is like Plan F. I think this isn't who they really wanted. They extended that offer to the Texans OC and the new DC of Seattle. I just think that no one wanted it. I think they want to win, and I think you can't win in Washington with what they have right now, especially blowing up that defense last year. Now you got to kind of rebuild that from piece by piece.
But you do get the second pick, though. You get the second pick and the largest cap space in the NFL.
Yeah. But if things do go wrong, and their signings don't work out in the draft, but worst case scenarios, that we could be looking at another Carolina Panthers team. I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, speaking of the Carolina Panthers, I love the Dave Canales hire. I love it so much. I think the Panthers finally got something right. When we look at Dave Canales, 2 years ago, he was the quarterbacks coach of the Seahawks. Going into that year, the Seahawks were not expected to be good. Geno Smith revives his career. I wouldn't say revival. Revival. But
no, revival. He got a starting job and extended a contract. Yeah.
Revival. But Dave Canales was at the forefront of fixing Geno Smith. Next year, he gets hired by the Bucks as the offensive coordinator. They bring in Baker Mayfield coming off of probably the worst year of his career, or the worst 2 years of his career, if we're all being honest here. Goes to the playoffs, gets a playoff victory, beats the defending NFC champions, and hangs in there with the Detroit Lions. Now, he goes to Carolina. Bryce Young coming off of a horrible rookie year. Can Dave Canales fix Bryce Young? I think so.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. I absolutely love that hire. The Seattle Seahawks, speaking of, they hire Mike McDonald, the former defensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens. I don't really know. I mean, that Ravens defense is good, especially that secondary. And that Seahawks secondary is very talented. Devon Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen.
It's like a good hire. We'll see what happens.
It's a pretty good hire. The Falcons, they interviewed Bill Belichick twice and said, nah, we're going to go with Raheem Morris, the defensive coordinator the former defensive coordinator of the Los Angeles Rams. This is... It all depends who they hire.
It's something.
It all depends on who they hire as offensive coordinator with those weapons. That's really all I got, because I don't think the defense was really the issue. It was the offense, and then you hire a defensive guy. I don't know. I think they
got a lot of X factors. So
I think they did hire an offensive coordinator, if I'm not mistaken. Looking, Zach Robinson, the former offensive coordinator, or no, not offensive or no, he was the offensive coordinator, right? Oh, I should really. Zach Robinson was the quarterbacks coach and passing game coordinator of the Los Angeles Rams. So maybe, hey, could work. That's a good hire for the offensive
Ritter
end.
active.
Yes. The Los Angeles Chargers. Who's got it better than them? Nobody. Jim Harbaugh, head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. I can't wait for Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert content.
Well, I'm really interested to see what they do in this offseason because, they are in cap hell. They got to make some moves. They got to free up some space. So what is this opening day lineup really going to look like? Because
we'll see. We will see. I think that obviously I think you want to keep Herbert and Harbaugh together. I feel like Harbaugh can fix Herbert in some type of way, but at the same time, that money is a big issue. It's a major issue, and I'm just curious to see what's going to happen there. I'm not going to predict anything because there's so many guys with lingering contracts, so I'm not going to touch up on it. I'm not going to make any wild predictions or anything like that.
This is definitely a post Super Bowl type talk. Still haven't finished the season yet.
I'm going to wait and see what happens with that. And then I think we touched up on Antonio Pearson, Gerard Mayo.
But we haven't touched up on the Jets firing Rex Hogan. Assistant GM.
So he was the league, right?
Yep. Seems like that was the consensus.
And last but not least, the Tennessee Titans hire former Bengals offensive coordinator Brian Callahan. I think it's a pretty good hire. And see how Levis does under it.
That's the thing. It's all these head coaches on paper. We'll see. It looks good, but a lot of these teams underperformed last year, and they need a big turnaround. For this to turn out well.
Yes. Any other NFL news that I'm thinking of right now?
No, but I do have one more NBA thing to talk about.
I am surprised about how Bill Belichick. So, Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel do not get any jobs. Also, the Steelers hired Arthur Smith as their offensive coordinator. God, they're going to go through hell. God, and then they're still going to somehow win 10
make the playoffs.
Just watch. Mediocre Mike. Mike.
King of something.
He's the king. He's winning at something. It's definitely going over 500. Yeah. So is this it for Bill Belichick? Is my question to you, Tim.
Nah, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think he wants to be done per se. I don't think he's ready to give up football. But I don't see is there a team really? Yeah, where does he really want to go? Where does he fit in that would work out well for him? That's available.
For what it's worth, the New York Giants have a defensive coordinator position open.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not going to be filled.
He's not going to take it. He's not going to take that.
For what it's worth, we should fire Robert Saleh and sign Bill Belichick back.
Fire Robert Saleh. Can you imagine? Out of nowhere, they just...
I'd be so happy.
Who?
He's so bad.
Who can we see? Dennis Allen could be gone at the end of next year, depending on how the Saints do.
Is he a midseason hire?
It's wide open. He's not a midseason hire. I think it's very rare that we see midseason hires in the NFL.
Yeah. Well, all right, say the Eagles start slow, real slow. And you're looking at a team that's got 2-6, 2-5 record. Is Sirianni out the window and you're looking maybe Belichick comes in and fixes some problems?
Maybe. But it's so rare that we see someone. It's rare that we see a Doc Rivers situation like that, where Someone gets fired, and then they just bring in a former coach and then leave it at that. Usually in the NFL, you see like the special teams coordinator get named the interim, so maybe that happens. But I don't think he
recent in the past. Oh, I guess interim. Yeah, you're right. They don't really bring in
Jeff Saturday.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
Antonio Pierce, was that the last one?
Antonio Pierce was the linebackers coach for Vegas.
Yeah, so again, in staff. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in staff. I believe when Frank Reich got fired, they brought in the special teams
What about
coach.
Urban Meyer?
Urban Meyer, I think. Well, he was an off-season hire. I don't think he was mid-season. That, again.
No, but they fired him mid-season. Who came in after?
They fired him, I think, Jaguars interim head coach. That's just like another thing that I have to be reminded of. Darrell Bevell was the offensive coordinator.
All right, there you go. Yeah,
at that time, and then they brought in Dougie P. So yeah, very rare that we see. I would be so surprised if I see Bill Belichick get brought in as a midseason hire, because that yet again too, Tim. Like, I guess in basketball it's so different.
And hockey
NFL, hockey. The NFL, there's 17 games in a season. How stupid would it be to hire someone from outside?
Switch up the whole scheme,
It makes no sense. So maybe we see Bill Belichick, maybe we see Vrabel next year, but again, in 5 years from now, I just can't wait to think, oh yeah, Urban Meyer coached the NFL. Just what a time.
For 10 weeks.
For 10 weeks, and then got fired for assaulting his kicker.
Well, and other things.
And other things as well. I will never forget when he got fired, because that night I was going on a flight to North Carolina. I was going to Cameron, and I remember using the bathroom, and my dad and I was making fun of Urban the entire time. I was like, just please keep him, just for content purposes. Please keep him. And then my dad knocked on my door at 5:30 in the morning. I was already up. He was like, he's gone. I was like, no. Urban, no. I miss him so much.
Don't we all?
Yeah, it's so true. I miss Urban Meyer. Every time there's a college football job opening, I'm just always like, Urban? I'm like Jameel Hill with Colin Kaepernick. Every time a quarterback job opens,
Urban and Dabo, maybe they'll team up.
Jameel Hill's always like, Kaepernick? For me with college football openings, it's like, Urban?
RG3? Me?
RG3?
Cam Newton? Me? I could play.
RG3, oh my god, have you seen that one video of when they were discussing when it was a big time topic if Mike McCarthy was going to get fired, and then RG3 was like, they should hire Deion Sanders. He knows what it's like to win as a Dallas Cowboy. I'm like, are you...
Colorado had a losing season.
They're in the Big 12 now.
Yeah, that's going to go well.
That's going to be... I don't know how that's going to go. I'm not looking forward to that. Actually, no, I am looking forward to that. Fuck Colorado. Next up, NBA. The New York Knicks are in third place and are a game back from second. Oh, I can feel it in the air. I have not felt this confident about a Knicks team in probably my entire lifetime. This is something that I'm very excited. I get giddy thinking about it. This is just what we've been through. I was dealing with a Lou Odmanson, Alexei Shved starting lineup, and Shane Larkin too. Don't forget about Shane Larkin. I never forget. Luke Cornett, Langston Galloway. There's Damian Dotson, Kevin Knox, Thanasis Antetokounmpo. There's just so much more. And now here we are. We made it. We're here. The only thing that worries me is that just hope the Heat don't win the play-in and then get the 7 seed and play the Knicks, because then I'll be scared. But other than that, I'm so excited.
As excited as you are, I'm equally as excited because, like I said, both 9-1 in their last 10. We're a half game behind you for third place. You got the Pacers tonight. We got the Grizzlies. I'm not saying you lose. I'm just saying Pacers give you a fight, you could be seeing Cleveland in third tonight. I'm just saying. The
All
avalanche
right,
is
yeah.
coming, Stan. And you got it. And here's
you always say that.
Underrated, unsung hero of the year so far. JB Bickerstaff has done an amazing job adjusting and restructuring his lineup. Because when you lose, you lose Darius Garland, and now you're rotating guards like Sam Merrill, who obviously Sam Merrill, but he's been great.
He's a hooper.
I know. He's been great.
He's a guy. He's a guy's guy.
Max Strus, they're getting all these guys they've signed in the offseason, integrated well in the lineup. I just think he's done a great job of playing to these teams' strengths, especially with what they've been out with. And now they're getting them back. They get Mobley back. They beat the Clippers. They get Garland back last night. They beat the Pistons. And Donovan Mitchell dropped 45. This is a team really right now with the second best net defense in the NBA and a middle 14th best offense. If they can add a wing scorer who can play decent defense, I'm just saying. This trade deadline could be big for them. They can move some guys around. This really could be a scary team.
All right. Any other NBA news? I know the Lakers are god awful, but I'm waiting for the deadline for them to just be like.
I didn't get to ask you this, Stan, because with the Heat's troubles and how they've been playing in recent, I know they won last night and snapped their 8-game losing streak. Trade deadline's coming around. Jimmy Butler might be on the block, and the favorite to get him right now, as of today, is your New York Knicks. They have the assets. They can build a package. How would you feel about that?
I will place the mortgage on them to win the NBA Finals if that is the case. If they get Jimmy Butler, I will. It's probably going to be Grimes, Fournier, and like probably the rumored 5 first-round picks. So that's fine with me, honestly. That just shows me that they're going to go all in. If the Heat build a dynasty, then so be it. I think that 5 Heat championships are worth less to 1 Knick championship in my eyes as a Knick fan. So bring me Jimmy, man. I'm ready for it. Give me Jimmy Butler. I'm feeling it. Give me Zion. Give me KD. Give me Kyrie.
Right, well, we're going a little crazy here. I think the thing with Jimmy Butler and why it would work so well with the Knicks is he just has a winning culture around him. And now he can finally be surrounded by a team that would kind of accentuate his strengths. You know, he's a great wing defender, but with a ball handler like Jalen Brunson kind of taking away some...
But my thing is, like, where do you put him? Do you put him at the 2? Because you know you're putting OG at the 3, Randall at the 4, and then one of either Hartenstein or if Mitchell Robinson comes back, you put him at the 5. I think Jimmy's more of a 3 than a 2.
Yeah, he's not a great shooter.
Yeah, I don't know. But speaking of our 2 guard, Dante DiVincenzo is probably one of the more underrated signings in free agency. Did you see what he did the other day? He had 9 3-pointers.
Yeah, he's been great.
I love how like the Knicks mentality this year has just been like with like Leon Rose. Let's just sign their friends and just see if it works. And it's working.
I love those memes. Really... It's like Lars Newtonbar hitting a walk-off home run in Game 7 of LDS to beat the Dodgers on the power of friendship.
The power of friendship. The power of friendship. Miami Marlins taking down. I forget there was one meme that I saw that was like
taking down the Dodgers or the Braves.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. This tweet. I cannot believe the Knicks team building strategy is what if they were all friends and it works somehow. And it met. I'm using that freaking video from Villanova where Dante and Jalen are dancing to what's that guy's name? The white guy rapper, not Macklemore. He was like very popular. He cheated on his famous girlfriend. G-Eazy. Yes, G-Eazy.
Oh, G-Eazy.
Yeah, G-Eazy. Yeah, back when that was popular. I also saw that Jalen Brunson took a picture with my queen, Mariska Hargitay of Law and Order SVU. Championship is on. Like, the vibes could not be more higher right now. After I saw that picture, I was like, we're going all the way. And if we get Jimmy Butler, I was like, we're going all the way for 3 straight years. That's how I feel.
Yeah. No, I'll give it to you. And you know what? At this Knicks team...
Plus, Jimmy Butler, Tibbs guy. He is a Tibbs guy through and through. Chicago, Minnesota. I know it didn't really end well, but we need the power of friendship is huge here. We need the power.
I don't want to burst your bubble. You know, does feel a little bit like a Cavs situation last year, getting a lot of the hype from the media. But I'm just saying. They're playing good.
Don't even get me started.
There's a Cavalanche coming, Stan.
It's the media darlings. The media darlings.
Seek cover.
There's a Cavalanche on the loose.
I think we should just swing it over.
Should we swing it over? Yeah,
let's just swing it over.
All right. We're gonna talk some NHL with Jake Zaretsky, our good friend. Talk some trade deadline. It's the All-Star break. Rangers are struggling mightily. There's a big rumor out there that Capo Caco's getting dealt. So we will see what happens there. Man's on the block. Reunion, possibly? Question mark with a couple of guys. Or we could be getting an old enemy in Adam Henrique. So we'll definitely talk about that. Islanders, definitely. Where are they in the?
Yeah,
where are they?
Out of the wild card. They're the first team out of the wild card right now.
Okay, they're the first. I mean, that can change in a dime.
They got time to mesh with Patty Waugh.
That's fair. That is fair. All right, we will bring it over. Jake Zaretsky. Enjoy it, guys. Okay, we are joined by Jake. What's going on, Jake?
What's
going on? I feel like we did the hockey preview like yesterday. Like I feel like
it's crazy.
The season has flown by. We're off with football until next week, so we thought let's have a hockey preview. Let's see, or not preview, but midway point preview. Trade deadline coming up. All-Star game coming up. How are we feeling about the Rangers? I mean, we got to talk Rangers eventually. Tim's Islanders too. So let's just start it out well. Sort of. I wouldn't say fall back from grace, but
what's wrong with Shesterkin?
I'm worried.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I think, I was going to we'll touch on it a little bit later, so I'll kind of give the brief, but toward start, they were like 25-9-1 or so I think 24-9-1 is the official record there. Ooh. Up until they kind of got cold for the month of January and for parts of December as well. But really, when you look at it, I think, the team, they're kind of, there were glimpses of hope there for some games where they would win a few and then they would start losing again. But they really haven't found their footing after that start. And I think a lot of it is in part to a lot of the bigger guys not really, playing to their ability. And you can point fingers at Zibanejad, Kreider, Shesterkin especially. He has not definitely been playing to his form. He will be at the All-Star game for the Rangers, which has sparked a big debate. But he was the replacement for Artemi Panarin, so it is what it is. But yeah, I think that they're going to find their way. They're a very talented roster. I just the cold, like, it's really a cold streak when I look at it, because you look at the Rangers roster and it is certainly not a bad team. They have a bunch of role players that can really perform when they're playing to the best of their ability. But at the same time, I'm seeing this as a cold streak. I'm very confident in this team's ability to win games, and I do think that they will turn it around pretty soon.
Let's hope so, because my mental health in May, in April,
hopefully
May,
in June. Hopefully
in June.
Well, if they make it to June, then the mental health, we will definitely be big advocates for that.
It'd be it'd be at an all-time high.
All-time high.
All-Star game coming up. We're gonna give our previews for that. I'll be honest, I have not watched the NHL All-Star game.
I'm with you. I just tuned it out.
Skills contest.
Yeah, I just tuned it out.
5 to 6. I remember hardest shot. I remember accuracy shooting. Stick handling, I don't really remember. The passing challenge, I have no idea.
It's just this crazy, sauce pass, far pass. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The one-timer seemed pretty self-explanatory, and I know the fastest skater. So,
I mean, it's, we before we started recording, we kind of dove into it a little bit. And Tim, I know you're very against the whole All-Star game format.
Dude, it sucks. Yeah, it's so boring.
And you know what? And if you watched it last year and didn't do your research on, what they've done to change it this year, I would agree, because last year's All-Star game, it was stale. The jerseys were awesome, but it was in Florida, not a ton of fans there, and the players really did not look interested in it. And it's fair to say, but they've done a couple of changes where, I look at it and it's, it's not the end of the world. I think that the whole situation with them, putting 12 forwards or 12 skaters into the game and having 6 separate challenges for those 12 skaters instead of having everybody do it. Last year, was it really necessary to see guys like Boone Jenner and Johnny Gaudreau and guys who are struggling, go into the All-Star game and, do the skills competitions?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's
so
a great
they have 12 guys.
Chip and Shay's forward doing a skills comp. Like, that's no
Yeah.
hate, but come on, what are we doing?
No, of course. And you look at the roster for the, for the skills competition, and, the quote unquote worst player on this list is probably JT Miller. And he's having an outstanding season.
Yeah.
So, the pool has definitely been decreased and made to really showcase the stars of the league. McDavid's in there, McKinnon, Matthews, Pedersen, Draisaitl, Matt Barzal is having a great year. Shout out to you, Tim. Pasternak's in there as well, Kucherov. So it's exciting in the regard that it's not going to be a bunch of nobodies. I mean, if you're in the All-Star game, you're not a nobody. Fans know who you are.
John
but
Scott,
at the same time, it's not everybody doing it. So, I mean, look, I do want to kind of hear your thoughts, Tim and Stan as well. But Stan, I know you're kind of neutral about it. I know you haven't watched it, but Tim, I mean, listen, there are some changes. Are you at least a little excited?
It's not about what's in the All-Star game, like the competition stuff. It's just the compete level. And when it comes down to this new 3-on-3 format that they're bringing in, I don't even know if it's new, to be honest with you. I haven't watched. Oh, no, it's not new, but I haven't watched. Year. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just no competition. There's no compete. Like, it's dudes wide. It's like you're playing with your buddies. You're on pond. You're just watching someone skate by you. There's no one really putting a shoulder to you on the boards. That's what I like to see in a hockey game. I like to see people go in the corner, play with passion. It's just not there for me. So I don't know. It's really not for me. It's like the NBA All-Star Game and the Pro Bowl. It's just two things I don't watch.
Yeah. I mean, I could totally agree with that. I mean, you and I both watch the Rangers and the Islanders. One team loves to compete. The other one doesn't. I'm not going to specify who. But yeah, I think compete level is definitely
on that.
Yeah, it's well, you don't know what I wanted to say. But I think compete level is really something that this whole event is kind of lacking, and we're going to see how it really plays out. Last year was obviously a big outlier in terms of how the compete level was, where the NHL said, okay, we need to make a change. So we'll see. I'm excited for the skills competition. Tonight's going to be really, really fun. I believe the skills is on Friday. If somebody wants to,
yes, and then the All-Star game on Saturday.
Yeah, so tonight's the draft, which should be awesome. Very excited to watch that. And also, shout out to the PWHL. I'm a huge fan of what they're doing. They have an All-Star game tonight. That's at 8 p.m. Really excited to watch that as a ambulance drives by my house. But very excited to watch that.
Prayers.
It's very exciting.
Damn,
I love. Yeah.
Prayers.
Listen, I live right next to a I don't know. It's not a hospital, but it's like an assisted living place.
Oh, hospice care.
In and out. Sirens. Anyways, and it's tough.
Yeah, well, then prayers up.
Regardless, let's get back. No, let's get back on track here. So All-Star draft. Let's do a couple of predictions. I think there's 4 captains. I think it's and I didn't write it down, but off the top of my head, I know McDavid's one, Matthews is another, the Hughes brothers is one, and McKinnon. I think that's
believe
the 4.
So let me check that.
I'm gonna say this off rip. You're a fool if you don't think Nylander's going 1. It's in Toronto.
Okay.
Matthews is a captain.
Yeah,
You're
probably.
A fool if Nylander's going 1.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing. Like, that's what we need. Like, I don't want it to be like a fantasy auto draft where it's just picking.
They're
players.
in Toronto. It's got to be.
So
you got to be.
So it's Matthews, McDavid, McKinnon, and the Hughes brothers, and they are paired with celebrity captains: Justin Bieber with Austin Matthews, Will Arnett with Connor McDavid, Tate McRae.
Shout out Tate McRae. Cole Sillinger.
Love Tate McRae. With Nate
do.
McKinnon, and then Michael Bublé with Jack and Quinn.
Yeah, it's fun. It has fun written all over it. I'm really excited. I mean, I might be the only one, but I really am excited. So, yeah, All-Star Game should be a lot of fun. Very excited to watch the whole event. I'm rooting for my Ranger boys. Only Shesterkin is going to be competing. He'll be in the Hyundai NHL 1-on-1. Do we have any predictions for who might win what? We want to start with fastest skater?
Yeah. One question though. Can we bet on it? Like, are there odds?
I want to say, yeah, absolutely.
Let me
100%. You want to pull that
just-
up? Well, Tim, let's go. Tim, while he gets that, let's. I mean, fastest skater.
Reigning champ. He was 13.2. I'm pretty sure still fastest record. I don't think it's been broken.
It's not. It's still in Larkin, actually. I did a trivia question on that in class today. Larkin has the record. I think it's like 13.1176, something like that. So Larkin has the record, but I don't know. McDavid is like the shoe-in kind of favorite here, but there's a lot of speed in this lineup.
They said last time and Barzy beat him. I'm taking Barzy. I'm being a homer.
I actually like Matt Barzal. He probably has value, Stan, if you want to tell me. He's definitely second place.
Plus 220 at second place. McDavid the favorite at plus 120. They only have they only have odds for accuracy shooting and fastest skater, but for
what's Cale Makar's? Because there's value to that. He's fast.
He's third at plus 400.
He's fast as fuck.
There's a really lot fast. Of you honestly for accuracy shooting, you cannot go wrong because Draisaitl, Pastrnak, McDavid, and Kucherov are all tied for the favorite at plus 600.
Wow. Ooh, I like Leon in that. I think Leon last year I think Leon last year he didn't miss a target. So,
and then,
but fastest skater, I'm.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Also on FanDuel, you can do it's kind of like you know how in golf you can do matchups.
Yes.
Like you can bet this person over this person. So you
can
bet
who the final will be.
Not the final, but head-to-head props. So who does Matthews beat McKinnon? Go further than McKinnon, and McKinnon go further than Matthews. Matthews and Nylander you can do in accuracy shooting.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have a lot of, and then they also have them for hardest shot too. They have 4. They have Matthews and Makar, Matthews versus Pastrnak, Pettersson versus Makar, and Pettersson versus JT Miller.
Interesting. Yeah, Tim. So, yeah. Look, I'm gonna go with you here. I love Barzal for fastest skater. Second place. That's a lot of and McDavid is. I mean, obviously with the puck, there's nobody faster than
not even close.
But without the puck, I mean, listen, Barzal. I don't know. He's sneaky at second place. I kind of like that.
I think there's value there with Cale Makar though.
So do I. I'm with you on that. Those are the two guys that I'm really looking at. It's one of those two I think's going. I don't think McDavid wins.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, NHL one-timers. Quickly, Pettersson, McKinnon, Draisaitl, Kucherov, Miller, Matthews, Barzal, Pastrnak.
Yeah, Barzy's not winning that one 100%. Yeah, he's probably coming in last.
No way.
Bet on that.
No
Pasternak's taking it home. Give me Pastrnak.
I like that, but I really who's there's no betting on that.
I don't think there's no betting on that one.
Really, I mean, so many good options. The two that really stick out to me are JT Miller and Leon Draisaitl, because they both have just absolute howitzers of one-timers. Pastrnak, he's probably, if there was odds, he'd probably be the favorite.
Yeah, I've just seen him put it in.
Known for his release.
I've seen Pastrnak put it in spots that nobody else can. I know you guys have too. He has that one snipe against the Rangers, short side going down the wing.
Oh yeah,
yep. That was also that's a backhand. That's a backhand too. So that's
still ridiculous. But come on, that's even better.
That's fair. I look. Listen, I think JT Miller great odds. If there was, and I keep saying odds, but there's no betting for that. So Stan, you got one?
I'm trying to find it, but yeah, I can't find anything. Off the rip. Give me Austin Matthews.
Okay, I like that.
I just have a hunch.
NHL passing challenge. There's 1, 2, 3. I think all of them are in this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think all of them are in this. Maybe -1. But NHL passing challenge, I mean, you think of some of the best passers in the league. I mean, all of these guys are outstanding at moving the puck around. I'd say give me Quinn Hughes for this, for the NHL passing challenge.
I like Cale Makar. I don't know, Cale Makar guy right now. I'll go with
Listen, I'm predicting Barzy to have a huge day in the All-Star game, winning 2 comps and hopefully All-Star game MVP.
Jesus,
but if it's not him, I like Leon Draisaitl. I think he snaps the puck around better than anyone else in the NHL. His accuracy with his sauce passes and how quickly he moves is unbelievable. So I think he can probably take that home.
Absolutely. Stan, who did you say for fastest skater?
Fastest skater, I said Cale Makar as well.
Okay. All right. So, and then the one-timers, we had Miller, I had JT, and then both you guys had I think, who did you have for the 1T challenge?
For 1T, I had Austin Matthews.
Okay, and then it was Pastrnak. All right, so Yeah, moving on to the hardest shot: Matthews, Makar, Pasternak, Miller, and Pedersen.
Let's go with.
I mean, is this even a hot take? But Elias Pettersson, that dude, as skinny as he is, he gets
Yeah.
force behind that shot. And I think
I was going to go with him too.
he competed in this comp. Was it last year, 2 years ago? I don't know. I think he had like 103 before, and that maybe in like 2019. So I'm gonna go with him. I think he can win this one.
Okay, Stan.
Yeah, I'll go with Pedersen too.
We're sweeping the board here with Elias. Yeah. He can rip that puck. So I like that. I like Pedersen to win that. He probably has the highest odds too. If there was, a bet. You said accuracy shooting was the second one?
Yes, accuracy shooting was the second one.
Okay. NHL stick handling. We have Hughes, McDavid, Pedersen, Kucherov,
McDavid,
Draisaitl, McKinnon, Pasternak, Barzal, and Nylander.
McDavid. Listen, it's McDavid.
If it's not McDavid, I've seen Barzal stick handle in a phone booth.
Oh my god! Okay, we're doing Barzal. Okay, 2 McDavid and a Barzal for that. I'm writing these down because I want to come back to these later to see how he did. Cheetos NHL accuracy shooting: Kucherov, Makar, McDavid, Hughes, Miller, Pasternak, McKinnon, Nylander, Draisaitl, and Matthews.
I really
like
Leon.
Shooting. Yeah, Leon.
I'll take Leon.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go Leon with that too, and then McKinnon. You said Tim, and then the NHL 1-on-1 top 8-point earners from events 1 through 6 will participate and choose the goalie they shoot against. And the options for goaltending are Jeremy Swayman, Alexander Georgiev, Jake Ottinger, Sergei Bobrovsky, Cam Talbot, Igor Shesterkin, Thatcher Demko, and Connor Hellebuck.
Give me Hellebuck.
And you know damn well I'm going with Cam Talbot. That's a shoo-in for me. Absolutely.
I'm going with Connor Hellebuck.
Love you,
here.
Igor.
Go for it.
I love you, Igor. But I heard Hellebuck, Stan. But Cam Talbot in the All-Star game. I mean, like, come on. Does it get any better than that?
What is this
so Hellebuck for Stan, and then Tim. Give me one.
Give me Cam Talbot.
Okay, let's go. Okay, good. We got our predictions in. We will come back to those later. Hopefully, probably this weekend. I'll send out a tweet, see how we did. But yeah, there you go. Skills competition tomorrow night. Tune in, lock in, see how it goes.
Have a couple brews.
Yep. With that being said, who is going to win the All-Star game? Team Matthews, Team Hughes. Well, it's tough to pick because they haven't drafted yet. So yeah. I guess. Look, let's just all ride the Tate McRae train.
Yes.
Go with Team McKinnon.
Yes.
Right, Team McKinnon.
I'm with it. I'm cool with that.
Let's just ride that train, and we'll see how it does. But
imagine, I just can't stop laughing at the fact that just imagine Peter Laviolette and Tate McRae sharing the same bench.
That's crazy. And Michael Bublé and Justin Bieber. That's crazy. All right, we got a couple more topics to move into. So what do you guys want to do next? We could discuss the Lindholm trade. What do you guys want to do?
We brought it up in the intro with Lindholm, so let's just talk about it right now.
Sure.
It didn't take that much, I feel like, for Lindholm.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I know Calgary got a good return for that defenseman. Whoever was comparing him to Adam Fox.
Yeah, so it's Hunter. I believe his last name is Burjus Stuix.
I don't know. Stevich.
Yes. Oh, there you go. Nice. So Elias Lindholm goes to the Canucks. Calgary gets Andrei Kuzmenko, who's been having a down year in comparison to the year he had prior. They get a first-round pick, a conditional fourth-round selection, both picks in the 2024 draft. That Hunter kid, and then Yoni Germo. So what do you think? I mean,
they got to haul back. I think. Listen, he's got to perform now because he's on the hot seat, and it's not that he's had a bad year, but they gave up a package for him. I know they don't use Kuzmenko, but his name's been floated around the trade deadline. I wanted the Isles to maybe take a look at him. They gave a haul for him, and they got a second-line center, and now they can distribute that JT Miller, Brock Besser, Patterson line, break it up a little bit, add some more depth. They're a scary team, if they can keep their goal differential well, and Thatcher Demko can keep this play up, I don't have a problem with them going far. I really don't.
I don't either. Daily Faceoff has Pedersen, Lindholm, and McKay. How do you say it? Ilya Mikheyev.
Mikheyev.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That's their top 9,
So-
right?
Yeah, that's our top 9 with
Yeah, that's
so we-
deadly. That's deadly.
Yeah,
And
that's pretty scary.
so many people, especially on Rangers Twitter, were talking about getting Elias Lindholm, and that would just create
Yeah,
so
but
many
why?
problems because
Yeah.
exactly, right? You're going to play either him or Trocheck on the third line. They're going to play
And, like,
15 maybe
yeah.
less minutes a night, and like it's
Makes
just
no sense.
right. It's exactly what they did last year, where you get too many good players and you struggle with creating ice time, and it's an embarrassment of riches. So very happy the Rangers elected not to do that. Probably would have costed them a lot, and they moved on from it. So I guess, look, we're 36 days to this from February 1st, 36 days away from the NHL trade deadline, which is on March 8th. Stan, I would love to hear your take. Do you think the Rangers should do something? Do you think they should move?
Obviously-
Kakko's name has been in there. What do you,
obviously
what do you
they
think?
Obviously, they should. They should do something. When I look at the Cop when they're trading Capo, the rumors of them trading Capo, I look back to a couple of years ago where when we got Marty St. Louis and we traded Ryan Callahan. A lot of people weren't too keen on the Ryan Callahan trade, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? I mean, I was a Callahan guy. I was a Callahan guy back then, so I was like,
huge.
I was very upset.
Yeah.
But we go to the Stanley Cup final that year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they make a trade like that. Trade Kakko. We know it's going to hurt the morale of the team, but we know it's for the better of the team.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be upset if we traded Kakko. A part of me would be upset, but it depends on who we get. I know there's not really that many guys available. There's a lot of guys available, but Vetrano's definitely a name to keep an eye on. Adam Henrique, definitely one as well. Who else is there? I'm blanking on his name. Plays for shit. What do you? I'm freaking. What's his name?
What are you talking about? Like Duclair?
Yes,
Sean Monahan?
Anthony Duclair. Yeah, Anthony Duclair is definitely one. Sean Monahan one as well. I don't know. We'll see. I've seen Zuccarello's name get thrown around a little bit. Like we might be getting a reunion. It depends on who. Mean, but
there's a lot of popular names, and yeah, I appreciate your take. I think a lot of fans do want them to do something because of what's gone on over the last month or so, and you don't really want to make a panic move, and you don't really want to go all in, especially on a player like Kakko, where if you move him and you essentially give up on him, because then they'd be over the last couple of seasons they'd be trading both Buchnevich and Kakko, who Kakko was supposed to be the guy filling in for Buchnevich. That's why they traded him. But that's a whole nother conversation. Now,
yes.
if you look at it, right, you trade Kakko, you probably trade him for a rental, which is what a lot of fans don't want to happen. And you look at that Callahan for St. Louis trade, is there really a guy out there who is available? One, I mean, to be fair, Marty St. Louis wasn't necessarily on everybody's trade list when he did end up moving to New York. That's why it was a very surprising trade. But when I think of guys like that, like, the issue is, Joe Pavelski just got a contract. So he got extended again. If you look around the league, there's guys like, Corey Perry, he just signed with Edmonton. That was kind of a guy who the Rangers might have taken a look at. I kind of really wanted them to get that guy, because that's another guy who can really bring some physicality into the lineup. Yeah, I mean, Zach Parise was out there as well, but the Rangers need speed. The Rangers need speed regardless. So a lot of names
Duclair
that come to
written
mind
all
for
over
me,
it.
Yeah, Anthony Duclair comes to mind. I think the Rangers' top 6 doesn't necessarily need to